Hi, good morning. Hello, hello, hello. It is Cassandra Terry, your mindset. No one's there yet? Okay. I'll give it just a second because I know some folks were planning to join this morning. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Hello, everyone. It's Cassandra Terry, your manifesting miracle maker. And today is Mindset Monday. Mindset Monday. Mindset Monday, I love the day that day of the week because it's our opportunity to get ready for the week, to prepare to win the week. What do I mean by preparing to win? I mean that we are getting our minds right, we're setting our goals, we're setting intentions for ourselves, and we're focused on what it is that we intend to accomplish this week. So it's about 7 a.m. where I am. I woke up a little early this morning and I started with my self care. Before I got out of bed, I really started to think about what I was grateful for to get my mindset moving in the right direction. Because usually, what we do on Monday is, oh, it's Monday, it's another work week, blah, 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 blah. And we start the week off with that negative self talk, and it kind of sets the tone for what's to come. And so I want to encourage you that before you even get out of bed, the first thing that you do is start to think about what you are grateful for. That sets your mind up to win. It gets you focused on the right thing, gets you focused on what's going well versus what's not. And what we focus on, we bring about. So if you're focused on what you're grateful for and the things that you have, then you can expect for more of that to come. If you focus on what you don't have, if you focus on not on lack. If you focus on lack, then you'll probably generate more of that. Good morning, Ryan. All the kids listen to you right now on our way to school. Hello, Who Dat Clan. There's my Who Dat crew. Good morning. Granny loves y'all. I'm so glad to hear y'all are on. And good morning, Bridget. And Bridget, thank you so much for sharing this broadcast with your company. I know you guys are joining in this morning. And I sincerely hope that you get something that is going to get your mindset right and prepare you guys to win your week. That's what Monday is all about, mindset. And the question I have for you this morning is, what is standing between you and the life that you desire? Think about it for a second. What's standing between you and the things that you really want? A lot of times when we ponder that question, or we just have a tendency to go through life and our focus is on the external. Maybe I've got a boss that doesn't like me. Maybe there's not enough opportunity where I am. Maybe I don't believe that I know enough. There's a glass ceiling. As a woman, as a person of color, as a whatever your situation may be, you may believe that you can't go any farther than where you are right now. I want to challenge you to think about that a little bit differently. All of those things may be true. I don't ever want to take away or discount life struggles, especially to the individual who is struggling. I am not discounting what your experiences are, but what I want to challenge you to do is look at that experience a little bit differently. You may not be able to control the things that are happening around you, but you can control how you respond to them. And that's what our challenge is. If we want to change the trajectory of our lives, if we want to see things go differently, it starts with our thinking. It really does. So, how do we think about a difficult situation differently? This may sound a little hokey, but one of the trainings that I've done says look for the gift in every situation. Look for the gift in it. And you may look at me like I have an extra eye right now and go, what's wrong with this lady? I'm having a difficult time. How can there possibly be a gift? There's always a gift. There's always a gift if you step back and observe the situation enough and start to think about the full experience, not just how you feel about it, not just what's going on, how you're affected in that moment. But what am I supposed to learn out of this situation? No situation is wasted if you learn something from it. So if you're dealing with a difficult boss, you're gaining some skills. You are learning to work with different personality types. If there's lack of opportunity where you are, then create the opportunity. Look at what's missing from the environment that you're in and figure out how you might be able to provide that. That's a golden opportunity. You don't know enough? Education is almost free these days. You can go to Google University. You can Google any topic that you're interested in and start to do some research and start to find experts that have given their advice. They've written about it, they've recorded it. There's books that you can purchase that'll, that's not too expensive. So if you're not in a place where you're ready to go into a full-fledged program, you're not ready to go to school, you can still learn about that situation and close the gap between what you know and what you don't know. There's always the opportunity to learn. So that's what I mean. So I can't change who my boss is immediately. In my case, I have a great one, so I don't have to. But if I there have been times where I've had not so great ones. I was in a situation where I had a manager come in and immediately determine that I was of no worth to his department. He was brand new. He came in, he had one meeting. He asked a few questions. Everybody was vying for his attention. I wasn't. And he took that as lack of interest, lack of knowledge, just lack of something. And he immediately determined that I didn't have what it took to be successful in his environment. So he even canceled the upcoming one-on-one meetings that he had set up with me. He had them set up with everybody so that he could get to know the team. He canceled my meeting. Didn't see it as worth his time. 30 minutes of his time would have been wasted on me, is where he was in that moment. So when I heard about it in a very traumatic way where he had told somebody, get rid of her. There's no reason for her to be here. Just cut the dead weight, cut the fat. And when I heard about that, the person who was telling me was so emotional. She was so upset because we had been working together for quite some time, had a great working relationship. She depended upon me for quite a bit. So she knew the value and she's trying to change his mind, but his mind is made up. Now, fortunately, you can't just come in and just get rid of somebody. But that's how he felt. I could have, from that point on, shied away from that person, not had anything to do with that person, been afraid to be around that person. But I just continued to do my job and I did it well. And before you know it, I have been given by him one of the biggest projects in our area. And I did it successfully. And from there became the next project and the next project. And every time he wants to do something new, it's time to build a new team. It's time to figure out how we're going to break into a new area, do things differently. I'm the person that he comes to because and he remembered and talked about it even before I did. He said, I remember how we originally met and what my first impression was. And I am so impressed that you didn't let that throw you off. You continue to move forward. You continue to do a good job. And you showed me that I was wrong. So that there was an opportunity there. I had nothing to lose because I had already lost it all as far as he was concerned. I didn't have his respect. He didn't see my value. So it was only a matter of time before I was out the door. But to be able to take that situation and turn it around and let him see with time that the value was there became the cornerstone of our relationship. And now I am a very valued team member and have been depended on for some of the biggest projects in his area. So don't let a temporary situation become a permanent fixture in your life. Turn it around, find the gift, see the opportunity, and move forward with that. When our mindset is right, our minds stay open. You're looking for solutions. You still are hopeful. You remain optimistic and motivated. So that's why it's so important in those moments. You're going to feel what you feel. The initial reaction may be a little bit overwhelming. I was blown away. I had never had anyone react to me that way in the workplace. So I had to take that in. And then I had to figure out what my next steps were going to be. And deciding what those next steps are or should be is what determines how that relationship or how that situation will continue to unfold. Find the opportunity, see where you're uniquely designed, uniquely made to maneuver through that situation, and take it on head on. Don't run from it. Take it on and keep moving forward. As long as you remain optimistic and motivated, you also will become innovative. You'll be solution focused. You're thinking about, how do we fix this? What's the next best step? Instead of being drained by your emotions. When you focus on the issue only, when you're just seeing the problem, there's no solution to that, because you become so overwhelmed by the problem itself that you can't think. You can't focus. You're just feelings. You're just a bundle of feelings and emotions. And we are feeling emotional creatures. So there's nothing wrong with having them, but you can't allow them to make your decisions for you. You can't allow them to tell you what to do next. You can't allow them to drive you get through your next journey, because if you're responding emotionally, most of the time you're going to respond harsher and differently than you would have liked to. You look back on it and you're like, oh, if only I could have a do-over, if only I could do this thing differently. So the challenge in every problem is to recognize it for what it is. Okay, we've got an issue here, but every time there's a problem, there is an opportunity. And the difference between problem and opportunity is just one thing: mindset. It is how you choose to look at it. If I have a problem, that's something negative, that's something difficult, that's something that I'd rather not deal with. If I have an opportunity, that's completely different. That is rolling up your sleeves, getting quiet, maybe pulling your team together, collaborating. However you move through the situation is up to you, but you're moving through it. You're thinking through it. You're looking for the opportunity to solve it. You become innovative. You are working from a place of hope versus a place of defeat. So that's why mindset is so important. That's why it's something that I talk about every single Monday specifically. And then every other day it makes its way in, because it's hard to talk about any of the other things without the foundation. And the foundation is our mindset, how we think. You'll see right below my name, if you're on most of the platforms. I know TikTok's a little different, but on the other platforms, right below my name, you see the voice within wins. That is the tagline that stays with me. I write about it. I say it all the time. And when I say that, I'm simply talking about how you think. The voice within wins. How you think determines how you behave. How you behave determines your future, right? If you believe that there's a solution, if you believe that you can be a part of the solution, all that other stuff falls away and you just get busy crafting that solution, thinking through it, trying it with other people. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? Have you ever tried it like this before? What was the results? If you don't see a solution, if you don't have hope, if your mindset is focused on what's not working, then you can't do anything but basically get depressed or overwhelmed or frustrated. And none of those emotions allow you to think clearly. And that's what we want to do. We want to have a clear mind so that we're able to be problem solvers instead of weighed down by our problems. And sometimes the best thing that you can do is just to step back. I call it take your pause. Take your pause. If your pause means you need to take a walk around the block, if you need to just get quiet to yourself and just separate from the crowd, if you need to grab a pen and paper and just write down what you're thinking so you can get it out of your head, start thinking about how you best problem solve now while you're not in the thick of a situation. If you have a plan when obstacles arise on how you're going to deal with those, then you can just go through and start to do it. It's like muscle memory. People practice things over and over and over again. I have my one of my youngest sisters played basketball in college. And during the summers, she would come to live with me and my husband, and she would go to basketball camps and be in tournaments and things like that. And I will never forget that girl was so devoted to that basketball that she and her friend would lay in the floor at night. Sometimes they wouldn't even have the lights on. They were just two teenage girls chatting it up. But while they were doing that, they were shooting the ball, just up in the air, catching it, up in the air, catching it. So to them, it was mindless, something to do, holding on to objects that they love. But in reality, she was building that muscle memory. She was teaching herself how, when she wasn't even thinking about it, how to hold the ball correctly, how to flex her wrist, how to see, and she would see herself making those shots. And she made a lot of shots. And a couple decades later, and she is still a great shot. She's a coach now. And the kids who are much younger will have a hard time beating her because that muscle memory is still there. How we deal with problems is no different. If you have the muscle memory, if you work on it when there isn't a problem, if you talk to yourself, if you journal, if you take a time out when things are a little difficult, you begin to teach yourself that that is how you solve a problem. And once you determine how you solve a problem, it'll come to you when you need it. You're just putting tools in your tool belt, and when you need it, you pull out the right tool and you are ready to go. So that's what Mindset Monday is all about. Thinking about how you want to deal with things. Calls trying to come in. Thinking about how you best deal with difficult situations when you're not in the thick of it. Determine who you're going to be and how you're going to be. Determine that when you don't need it, and that way it's there and available for you when you do. All right. So that's Mindset Monday. Remaining open, remaining hopeful and innovative, so that when the problems arise, you're in a situation to solve them instead of being weighed down by them. So, what's standing between you and the life that you desire? It's you, it's your mindset. So if you'll do the internal work, the external things will come and go. They are what they are, but your mindset will determine how much they affect you. So spend some time every day thinking about how you think. Become an observer of your thoughts. Hear them, feel them, and rewrite them when they don't work for you. Call yourself out. You tell yourself, I wouldn't say that to my worst enemy. So why am I saying it or thinking it about myself? And you rewrite it. All right. So happy Mindset Monday. I am going to let you guys get on with your day, but make sure that you start by thinking about what it is you want to accomplish today. Think about it, be really intentional about how you're going to move through your day, and tell yourself, I am going to be open. I am going to be innovative. I am going to do the things that I have to do to win my day. And if you do that, that's exactly what's going to happen. So, for those of you who are watching, thank you so much. Good morning, Kim. Good morning, Karen. Good morning, Mother. Good morning, Alicia. I see quite a few of you have joined from different platforms. I'm not as familiar. I just started going live on TikTok on Friday. So it's a little bit harder for me to see who's there, but welcome. I appreciate you watching. And for those of you who are going to catch this later, hashtag replay, leave your comments, and I promise I'll get back to you and I will respond to those just as quickly as I can. I am wishing you a wonderful Mindset Monday filled with all the things that you would like to have it to be. It's up to you. The voice within wins. Thanks, guys. Have a great Monday.